Has there been a legendary update lately when it comes to Zebec? Well, I like to think so. And it is because Zebec recently said how 2 months in, Zebec Enterprise on Stellar, they say is moving from launch to adoption, in which case we are now seeing 9 enterprise accounts which are running payroll on Stellar. So we gotta let that sink in. This is an amazing, I think, progress report in a sense, showcasing that the partnership between Zebec and Stellar has at least showcased something, and it's just 2 months in. It's not like it's a year, 2 years, no, not even 6 months. Just 2 months in, and we're already seeing that. Let me explain what I think about this in today's video, even though I am not telling anyone to do anything, and nothing I say is financial advice. So, first of all, could you imagine this, right? 9 enterprise accounts, again, that are now running payroll on Stellar in regard to USDC. But besides that, it's reaching an annualized payroll run rate of $4 million. It's to the point where these are very impressive figures, in which case some people don't really think about it that way. A lot of people thought that this was going to be a flop. They thought it was just going to be a joke. But I think this has kind of debunked some of the myths and some of the rumors that people thought that the Zebec and Stellar partnership was a failure, but apparently it doesn't seem like one, right? Because we're seeing these statistics as of right now. Could you imagine getting one enterprise account? That's like so difficult, especially as of right now. In 2026, that's tough. 5 is quite legendary, but 9? That's very thrilling, in my opinion, because it kind of showcases that this wasn't a flop. Could you imagine this? Stellar is historically a project within the global trade and finance space, within this space, of course, that we know is so popular. It's so famous, it's arguably the second most popular within that niche. And Zebec, a project that's not even the top 100, is able to have a partnership with Stellar, and not only just simply have a partnership for the sake of it, but actually see an actual result because of it. That's so tough to do, and it showcases all the work that Zebec is putting on behind the scenes, or putting in, I should say. And imagine if we're seeing 9 enterprise accounts as of right now, imagine what that figure would look like if, let's say, this is at a time when the market is doing a lot better. Would it be 20 enterprise accounts, 30, 40? Wouldn't surprise me. We're seeing 9 as of right now. 9. Just 2 months in. This seems quite, again, legendary to me. Not to mention, this is gonna set a precedent when it comes to Zebec, because if other enterprises or other projects out there are taking a look at stuff like this and they're saying, wait, hold up, Zebec is able to do that with Stellar, that could very well allow for them to be more inclined to have a partnership or a collaboration with Zebec, right? Because this is gonna look good, so to speak, in the quote-unquote hypothetical resume when it comes to Zebec. Because if Simon, the CEO of Zebec, is going, to these meetings, meeting up with enterprises, meeting up with projects, and he's saying that, hey, you know what, we've done this when it comes to Stellar. And not only have we had a partnership with Stellar, or have a partnership with Stellar, I should say, but then actually see results as a result of that partnership, that's just a total game changer. It's not all just fiction. We're actually seeing it happen, allegedly. So again, this is so monumental because Stellar, a lot of people thought that Zebec would never be able to have a partnership with them, but clearly it has. And not to mention, Zebec also has a partnership with Ripple. I think sometimes people forgot about this, but it does have a partnership with Ripple. Yes, the charts are not looking good, but these are the fundamentals that sometimes I think people don't really care about. And especially at a time like right now, this is tough to see, and I'm seeing that. So I'm so kind of happy to see this as of right now. It doesn't mean it's affecting the price, because it isn't, but this just kind of makes me happy because I'm a little bit curious. If it's looking like this as of right now, imagine what it could look like maybe later on if the market were to recover. That's just kind of my mindset. And a lot of people like to say, Zebec's never going to return back to a 540 million market cap. Sometimes people like to tell me that. And that remains to be seen, because we saw that last year at its peak. But I think sometimes people ignore the fact that last year, Zebec did not see this type of stuff. Like, it didn't have a partnership with Stellar and Ripple back then, let alone actually seeing results because of the Stellar partnership. We didn't see that back then. So if Zebec was able to reach around a 540 million market cap last year, Is it so tough to maybe reach that again with way better fundamentals? Maybe, who knows, one day? I guess it wouldn't surprise me, but it remains to be seen. Now we're over 3 times away from the peak last year. Again, like I just mentioned before, last year didn't seem so tough for it to reach that, with the fundamentals not being this good. So if the market were to recover again, if it goes back there, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me. Maybe even exceeding it wouldn't necessarily surprise me, just because I think Zebec is way better than before. But that's, of course, contingent on the market sentiment being good, because Zebec can't just randomly do that on its own. I'm totally aware of that. But again, seeing what it did last year, it kind of surprises me how well it was able to do last year, despite not having the fundamentals that it has as of right now. This type of stuff may not matter currently, but sometimes things don't matter until they do. That's the way I take a look at it. And again, if let's say Zebec never exceeds what it does last year, let's say it just goes back to around a 540 million market cap, we're slightly over 3 times away from that, which I don't find to be like such a negative thing, because Bitcoin returning to its peak last year is only around a 2 times movement, basically, from right now. And Zebec, if it goes back to its peak last year, it's around 3.4 times like that. Again, I mean, I don't necessarily find it to be something that is the best, but at least it seems a little bit more impressive when compared to if Bitcoin were to go back to its peak last year, percentage-wise. But that remains to be seen, but I'm just saying. But nonetheless, I'm still just holding and waiting anyways. But regardless, seeing how 2 months in Zebec, or should I say Zebec Enterprise on Stellar, is moving from launch to adoption, and seeing 9 enterprise accounts already, that's quite legendary in my opinion. And I think it kind of showcases that Zebec isn't playing around. And also, when it comes to the case of Stellar, it seems like both parties are treating this very seriously. So I do like seeing that. But yeah, I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very fantastic day. It's Mali the Captain.